Hey everybody, it's Derek Christensen from Legion Law. How are you guys today? I am going to talk to you today about estate planning and estate taxes. One of the two things that will happen in life is death and taxes, according to Benjamin Franklin, so let's talk about it. But before I dive into that, I just wanted to let you guys know how to reach out to me. You can reach out to me via my email, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can find me on my website, legionlawpllc.com. So with that, let's dive right in. Estate taxes. It's a very big concern for people, and it really shouldn't be because it's a great problem to have. The estate taxes are right now, at least in 2022, for an individual it's $12 million, and for a couple it's $24 million, which means if you have less than $12 million as an individual, you're not going to get taxed. And if you have less than 24 as a couple, you're not going to get taxed whenever you pass away. So that's the great news. That is with a caveat, though, because there are numerous possibilities in the future that Congress will change their mind. In 2026, there's a consideration that the tax law that Trump passed will sunset, as they call it, and that means that it will expire and go back to half of that. So $6 million for a single individual and $12 million for a couple. Again, a great problem that I have not run into yet myself, and I'm assuming most Americans haven't run into either. But generally speaking, if you're around $5 million, I'd keep it on your radar for sure. And if you're well above that, then you obviously need to talk to an estate planning attorney. So this next part of the video is for those who are in that situation where they are $12 million or above, or $24 million above if they're a couple. And there are plenty of options out there to avoid the estate tax. And there's a reason why very, very few people actually end up paying it. It's because you just hire an attorney and they take care of your problem for you. So that being said, I got my notes here. Let's look at here. Okay, so the first option is an irrevocable trust. That's where you create a trust that you cannot alter once you create it. You put your stuff inside of it, and then that stuff that's inside of it is not considered a part of your estate. So it's a strange concept, but essentially you could have $20 million to your name. You can transfer $10 million to that other trust, and then you technically only have $10 million to your name, and a trust owns $10 million of your stuff. Now, that's a really rudimentary way to put it, and there are a bunch of different considerations in there. Creating an irrevocable trust gives you a gift tax issue, which means if you transfer too much in a year, then you have to pay taxes on what you gifted to the trust. So again, working with an attorney or a CPA is probably your best option there to prevent paying extra taxes. So the strategy for irrevocable trusts, again, 10,000 foot picture, but essentially you transfer the gift amount, which right now it's $16,000 a year per beneficiary. You transfer that money in, and then you give the beneficiary a crummy letter is what it's called, which means it's a letter that states, hey, beneficiary, you can access these funds if you need to, or pull them out within the next number of days. And if you don't, then it's officially part of the trust. And then by doing that, it's a weird loophole, but essentially, you can transfer things to your irrevocable trust without paying any gift taxes or estate taxes. So again, it's a little convoluted. It's just a bunch of pushing paper, and maybe it was just made to pay for attorneys. I don't know. Attorneys create the law, so maybe we're just rigging it in our favor. But that's one way to go about it. Another way is to create a charitable trust. So you can create a trust, then you transfer your assets in there. You designate a charity that you really like to receive all the assets, and you don't have to pay any taxes on that. Now, I'm doing some research on it. I'm a little iffy on this, so bear with me, but I think the charity might have to pay some taxes depending on income and principal and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you don't have to pay the taxes. The charity might, depending on the circumstance. So that's how Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are going to get away with never paying any estate tax, because a lot of their money is going to go into charitable organizations. And it's probably going to go to charitable organizations that they really like space adventure or research or anything like that. So in the end, they kind of get what they want, and it shouldn't be surprising that the rich can kind of get away with some things in society. So I'll leave it at that. Gifting is another option. So you can, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but you can gift $16,000 per year to people, and you can do it free, and you don't have to file a tax return. And if you're trying to minimize and lower your estate, then you should gift $16,000 to people, and there's no problem. The IRS doesn't blink. So that's an option as well. And then let's see. Oh, another one is buying life insurance. So this is a strange option, but you create a trust, you transfer some money in, you use that money to buy a life insurance policy that once you pass away, that life insurance policy will be a lot of money. And because it's outside of your estate, you're good to go. No estate tax. So that's all, like, again, 10,000 foot view. I don't want to dive too hard in the weeds here, but essentially it's estate taxes aren't really a big issue, to be quite frank. Again, very few people are going to get to that threshold. It's a great problem to have if you do get there. And if you do get there, you just hire an attorney like myself and we make it happen. And the amount of costs to set up all these trusts and charities and gifts and all that stuff is way less than the 40% estate tax that will wipe out your, any money above the threshold that I discussed earlier. So that being said, again, everybody should have an estate plan. You don't have to worry about estate taxes per se, but you do need to worry about people actually getting the stuff that you want them to get when you pass away. And you want to make sure that they can access medical records and make decisions on your behalf if you can't. So if you have estate tax issues or concerns, or if you have anything else when it comes to estate planning, I'm your guy. I'm right here and willing to help out and give out free information and resources to help others with estate planning. So again, you can reach out to me on my website, legionlawpllc.com, or you can reach out to me via email at Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com. So thank you so much, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.